Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, pilot Jack Rulin in Skycam 16, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark, and Joe Zone on sports. This is Newswatch 16.
The city of Scranton says it's now back in the driver's seat when it comes to salting streets to melt snow. Last Friday we told you that Scranton was running low on salt. Well, today the Department of Public Works received a shipment, 250 tons of salt, with another 250 tons on the way. The DPW director tells us there was no real emergency because of the shortage, and he predicts the latest shipment of salt should last the city of Scranton through the rest of the winter. That is, if we don't have any major snowstorms.
So-called martial arts weapons may be more difficult to come by if lawmakers in Harrisburg and Scranton get their way. Both the state Senate and Scranton City Council are working on laws that would restrict those weapons. Newswatch 16's Mark Anik reports from Scranton. A dealer says a ban on the weapons would be wrong.
This is Al's Comics in Scranton. Al started collecting the books years ago. Now he sells them. But it's what he sells right next to them that people are talking about. Martial arts weapons.
You get all the ages of people that buy it. Get them from 18-year-olds to 30, 40-year-olds.
Is it a good business?
Yeah, very good.
Al sells most of the basics. Samurai swords, this one with a blade that can't be sharpened, nunchakus, and this item called a butterfly knife.
These are fast opening knives. That's all. You can use them to protect yourself. Doesn't matter, like, you don't even have to use the blade. You can use the serve part here.
This is another type of martial arts weapon. It's called a star. Now, students of the arts might use this much like we'd use a dart to throw at a dartboard. But if thrown at a human being, it could injure or kill. That's why Scranton City Councilmen recently voted to draw up a law banning martial arts weapons. But Al thinks that's wrong.
Just like if you go in a store, a department store, you buy a knife. What's stopping that person from going out with that knife and stabbing somebody?
Al says it's the use of the weapon, not the weapon itself, that's dangerous. So even he favors a law banning the sale to minors, something he won't do even now. And he says there should be fines if dealers sell to kids. But he's hoping the city and the state stay away from laws banning the weapons altogether. Mark Anik, Newswatch 16, Scranton.
When Newswatch 16 continues, we'll tell you why the federal government wants to get farmers out of the dairy business.
Plus, Jerry Gartenberg and Action 16 will help a Lackawanna County couple with a pension check snag.
The Ethan Allen Winter Sale is now in progress at Carriage House Clark Summit and Reliable Furniture Williamsport.
Now at Renault and Jeep dealers, new low factory financing on most new Renault models. 7.5% on Renault Alliance convertibles and sedans, on Renault Encore hatchbacks. Or get a check from the factory for up to $700 and get 7.9% financing on the all-new two-wheel drive Jeep Comanche. Save up to $1,384.
Get 7.5% financing on Renault at your 5-state dealers now.
The federal government is trying to get farmers out of the dairy business. For the past several years, there has been a glut of milk on the market. Today, the government started a dairy buyout program, and Newswatch 16's Valerie Devine talked to one farmer who's considering giving up his herd of milk cows.
Robert Rao has been raising dairy cattle all his life. This dairy farm has been in his family since the early 1900s. But like many farmers, Rob Rao says business isn't what it used to be.
The price of milk is coming down. It isn't as profitable as it used to be. And I have no help, so I figure this is a good time to exit from the dairy business.
Rob Rao took the first step toward getting out of the business by attending a meeting today in Middleburg. County agriculture officials were there to discuss the federal dairy buyout program. Here's how it works. The federal government buys out the dairy farmer for 5 years. During that time, the dairy cows are slaughtered or exported. Now, the farmer is paid an amount equal to 1 year's worth of dairy production. Then after 5 years, the farmer can return to the dairy business if he chooses. Now, each farmer has until March 7th to decide whether or not to give up the dairy business. Rob Rao says one thing's for sure. If he decides to give it up, he's not going back.
I'm going to go into beef and beef production and stay there.
Rob Rao says he doesn't expect to make a lot of money raising beef cattle, but he says they don't require as much work. And to him, that's half the battle. Valerie Devine, Newswatch 16, Middle Creek Township.
If you live from paycheck to paycheck, you know how much you count on getting every penny that's coming to you. Well, that's what a Scranton couple was counting on. But when things did not turn out that way, they turned to Jerry Gartenberg and Action 16 for help.
Imagine this. Each month you open your mailbox and find a pension check inside. Money earned after a lifetime of work and sacrifice. But then the checks stop coming.
And I figured, well, boy, I'm being gypped. We're both on a limited income, Social Security. And that little check, as it was a help to us.
Eileen and Raymond Mo Ryan didn't quite know what to make of it. For 2 years, the Lackawanna County men's pension checks had been delivered without a hitch, even though the mailing address on the checks listed the wrong street and zip code. The former garment worker says when the check stopped, he sent the pension company his proper address, figuring that would be that. Still no check. In fact,
anything I did didn't work out until I got in contact with you.
I tried tracking down the missing check, but no luck, so I asked that the pension company reissue it to the couple's proper mailing address. I also alerted the post office.
And then the check came in right on time.
And it's been coming on time ever since. Still, maybe you're thinking an error or two on a piece of mail won't normally cause a problem. Think again. Postal authorities say because of errors last year, 67 million pieces of mail couldn't be delivered. What's the wish of the people here at the post office?
Have clarity in filling out their letters, have a correct street address on it, and have a correct zip code on it.
Good advice. If you don't want your mail to go astray, make sure the mailing address is 100% on target. And of course, if you want to make sure your letters get to me without a hitch, remember that's Jerry Gartenberg, Action 16, Box 16, Avoca, PA, and the zip is 18641. Karen?
Okay, thank you, Jerry. Well, the Weather Watch is next with our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark.
And let's find out about whether there's snow in the forecast.
I don't know, is it too early to be getting tired of snow?
No.
No? For the skier, I don't believe.
Yes. More snow in the forecast, folks. There's another big storm on the weather map, and when we come back, I'll show you where it's headed. You're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP-TV, and we are proud to serve Mount Pocono and all of Monroe County.
Picture a tender, flaky fish fillet, oven-broiled to a perfect golden brown. Ah. At Arthur Treacher's, you get the delicious, nutritious choice of freshly oven-broiled fish, lighter tasting, less calories for today's appetite. And at Arthur Treacher's, you get your choice of crispy chips or a big, piping hot baked potato at no extra charge. So catch the choice at Arthur Treacher's, the delicious, nutritious, and lighter choice of oven-broiled fish with a baked potato or chips at Arthur Treacher's.
We now have a 16 salute for a woman who helps people when they need a little tender, loving care. She volunteers her time at the Scranton State School for the Deaf, working with parents of handicapped children. As Newswatch 16's Frank Andrews reports, Patty Brown helps them to overcome their problems.
27-year-old Patty Brown is a volunteer here at the Scranton State School for the Deaf. She has a 3-year-old daughter with a hearing impairment, and she gives of her time to help other parents deal with a handicapped child.
When you first find out your child is deaf, as with any handicap, you're devastated. You think, oh, who's she going to marry? What's she going to be when she grows up? And it sounds like very silly questions, but they're the things that run through your mind.
Is part of your job as a volunteer to cry with these new parents, do you?
Yes, I have. Yes, we've gotten phone calls at home from new parents who've come in, and of course, when they're crying, you can't help because you've been through it before.
Patty's daughter Jackie is a student here at the school. Now Patty runs a program that she helped organize, the PTSO, the Parents, Teachers, Students, and Others Club. It's a program the staff says is invaluable.
She gets the parents really involved in what's happening at SSSD. She's the president of the PTSO, our parent association, and she's been able to get numerous parents involved in everything that's happening at SSSD.
Because Patty works with new parents here at the School for the Deaf to help them get adjusted and work with their children to overcome the problem together, she gets this week's 16 salute.
Thank you very much.
Frank Andrews, Newswatch 16, Scranton.
All right, now we'll be saluting our chief meteorologist if he comes up with the right forecast.
Yes.
Tom?
You can stop saluting.
Uh-oh.
No, I guess most people are getting a little tired of all the snow we've had so far this year. Maybe it's
just a case of the February blahs, but we haven't had a whole lot of sunshine, folks, the past couple of weeks, and there's more snow to talk about tonight, like it or not. A little light snow falling now in the backyard. Let's check in with our faithful weather watchers. I want to take a small journey up there to Bradford County, where Joe Beckwith has a temperature of 26 at his place in Mountain Lake. Darlene Felding in Mill Hall, Clinton County, has 26, and Doug Benish in Harding, Luzerne County, would like you to know it's about 31 at his place now. At our place, the sky is cloudy, as it probably is at yours. 29 degrees here, the humidity 80%, the winds are northwest at 7, and the barometer is holding steady at 30.04. 32 and 24 was the range in temperature here today. Close to the normal for the high there. 57 and 9 below are the records. 28 and 15 was the range a year ago today. And we got a shot today for you of a lot of snow cover out there in the town of Montgomery in Lycoming County. Now, I want to show you the satellite image. Look at all the clouds down to the south. I mean, there is a bunch of nasty weather going on down there. A lot of snow and some icy precipitation, some sleet and freezing rain down that way. A very strong temperature contrast in the deep south this week, and that's where all the stormy weather is occurring now. A band of light snow is crossing Pennsylvania at this hour. I think we'll get a little bit of snow out of that overnight tonight as it moves up towards the northeast. But the storm center that's developing down that way is probably going to pass off to our south. We will miss the brunt of what this storm has to offer over the next 36 hours. I do think that it will clip us, though, as it moves on out to sea tomorrow, so we'll get a little more snow as it does. It covered the ground today in parts of Louisiana, hail that is, up to an inch deep in some places. 21 below in Waterloo, Iowa. All-time record high was shattered there today. The nation's coldest temperature, Alliance, Nebraska, 30 below zero. Some very cold air, and I think that's going to be coming down in our direction later on this week to keep us well below normal temperature-wise. For tonight, not much in the way of snowfall, probably less than an inch of new snow on the ground by daybreak. As you can see, temperatures tonight will be in the low 20s, and not too far from 20 for that matter. Snowfall amounts for tomorrow about an inch over the northern portions of the viewing area. 1 to 2 a bit farther south of the Poconos. Allentown, that area, could see upwards to 2 to 3 inches as that storm heads on by to the south. Okay, a sunrise for tomorrow morning is going to occur at 7:04 and the sunset at 5:32. Period of light snow tonight. Again, a light snowfall tomorrow as most of that storm misses us. 25 on Wednesday. More snow flurries and snow showers. Very cold the latter half of the week. We'll have more at 11.
Okay, Tom. See you then. Thanks, Tom. The Sports Watch is next with Joe Zone and the new Super 16.
Plus, Joe will be telling us why things are a little different this year on the local college basketball scene.
Picture this, cassettes at Acme's cost. Save big at our 48-hour sale on blank video cassettes and audio cassettes. Monday and Tuesday, any blank audio cassette or video cassette is yours at Acme's cost. Load up on brands like Scotch, Maxell, and Kodak video cassettes, and audio cassettes like Scotch, Sony, and Maxell. Record big savings at Acme this Monday and Tuesday.
While Pepsi has been delivering great taste and true refreshment for many years, it's about to deliver something very different. The heart-stopping, pulse-racing, sheer excitement of the Chevy Cavalier Z24, grand prize in the Pepsi Drive-Away Sweepstakes. Enter at your participating store.
Enter the Pepsi Drive-Away Sweepstakes now, and before long, you could be driving a Chevy Cavalier Z24.
Well, time is running out in the local college basketball races, right, John?
Exactly. We're counting it down now. You know, the past few years, it's almost a given that the University of Scranton wins the conference title. But it just ain't so this year. Looks like Scranton and Kings will go right down to the final game. When Kings won last week, they really tightened things up. 1 week to go now. Scranton leads by a game. The Royals go to Lycoming tonight. Lycoming out of the picture, but really would love to knock the Royals out. Royals have 3 conference games left. They must win by 2. Kings has 2 conference games. and they need to win both of those. Scranton, like coming tonight in Williamsport. We're into the 8th week of the high school basketball season, and there is one thing that we can see. The Wyoming Valley and the East Penn conferences have the best teams in the area, no doubt about it. Number 16 this week, Milton, an unranked team last week. Number 15, Montoursville won twice. Number 14, Bishop Hoban won twice. They're out of the Wyoming Valley Conference. Dunmore, number 12. Number 13, number 12 is Northeast Bradford. GAR, another Wyoming Valley Conference team. Number 10, Allentown Allen, out of the East Penn Conference. Number 9 is Williamsport. Number 8, Lehighton. Number 7, Upper Dauphin won twice. Nanticoke dropped 2 spots after losing at Hazleton last week. That was the Trojans' only loss in a 3-game week. Hazleton, by the way, with that win, swept a 3-game week. Nanticoke ranked number 6 this week. Bangor won twice, up from 6th. Hazleton, another Wyoming Valley Conference team, up 3 spots. Allentown Central Catholic, out of the East Penn, won twice. Panther Valley waiting for number 1 to fall, because the number 1 team right now, Whitehall, an East Penn Conference team with a 22-win record. So if you're counting 3 teams from the East Penn Conference, 4 from the Wyoming Valley of the top 16 spots. Back in October, hey, I was telling you about 5'7" Spud Webb. You laughed when I told you the Atlanta Hawk Guard would become an American legend. Well, laugh now. Over the weekend, Webb won the NBA Slam Dunk Contest, a tribute to the Spud Man and to Isaiah Thomas, the most valuable player of yesterday's All-Star game. Don't want no short people. St. Louis Cardinals have finally found a head football coach. Gene Stallings will leave Dallas, where he's been an assistant for the past 13 years. Stallings replaces Jim Hannafin, who was fired after the Cardinals turned in the worst showing of any NFL team. I say worst, not in record, worst in expectations that were never realized. And finally, Bill Elliott looks like he's ready to take over. He left off last year. He sits on the pole for Daytona next week, qualified today with a time over 204 miles per hour. That's all of it. Give tonight your best shot, Spudman.
All right. He's amazing.
I just can't figure out why Joe Zone likes Spudman.
I don't know.
You,
Why don't you stand up, Joe?
I like the people who can jump like that.
He's a good man. Thanks, Joe.
Stand up.
Okay.
Now, what would you like?
Oh, you're standing now. Oh, okay. When Newswatch 16 continues, we'll tell you about new life that may be coming for an old carousel.
It thrilled crowds for more than 75 years, and it may go around again. We'll explain.
Wendy's new fish fillet sandwich is made from pure fillet of fish, so it's moist and flaky, like a fine fillet should be. Then lightly breaded with a seasoned cracker meal, so it's crispy and delicious. I used to eat the fish sandwich served at that other famous place. You know, the square fish. But I just keep wondering, how do square fish swim?
Now get a Wendy's fish sandwich, fries, coleslaw, and a medium drink, all for $1.99.
An old carousel that used to thrill crowds for more than 75 years may have a new lease on life. Newswatch 16's Mark Davis reports the old carousel from Hanson's Park near Harvey's Lake may soon be going round in Scranton.
The carousel from Harvey's Lake may be coming back. This custom-built 77-year-old merry-go-round is a member of the Witterstein family.
Since I'm about 7 years old, because we have the rings and the brass string, and I ran that from about 7 till about 10, and 11 through 15 I ran the ride, and you really grow attached to the horses.
This 1909 photo shows you what the carousel looked like back when it first opened. A marvel then and a marvel now. The owners, Mary Ann Witterstein and her son Robert, are negotiating right now with Steamtown USA in Scranton to bring the carousel back and its 44 wooden animals, all under steam power. As Mary Ann showed me the photos, it was easy to tell that it was important for her to keep the carousel close to home.
it came to Luzerne County, found its roots here, and people from all over, not only Luzerne County, Wyoming County, Lackawanna County, they all rode the carousel, so we really wanted to find a home in this area for it. And I'm really happy that we did.
It's been about 18 months since the carousel was actually in business, and that was here at Harvey's Lake. Since then, it's been in kind of a semi-retirement in storage in Connecticut. But now it's ready to go back in business with a new home, the city of Scranton. Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, Harvey's Lake.
I remember that carousel well,
I bet you do,
grabbing the
right.
ring. That's Newswatch 16 for tonight.
Be sure to join us tonight on The Update when we'll be tempting you with some sweet treats for Valentine's Day.
World News Tonight is next with the latest on that big dispute over the Philippines election.
For the team, thank you for joining us.
Enjoy your evening.